My name is Helen, please remember it. I never thought I'd be making a part 2, but here I am. The last 12 hours have been a total roller coaster of emotions, and I haven't been able to even have a second of sleep for the last 18 ever since I woke up. Let me begin where I left off last time, my parents' house. I never once tried explaining to them what I'd seen or experienced. I knew they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't even try to understand. They were always big skeptics of the unknown, always thinking there's a logical explanation to everything. And in this case, there was one too, even if there wasn't. My parents woke me up at 1 p.m. They thought I'd wake up by myself, but I didn't. I startled awake to my father's worried face peering down into my eyes. "I thought you wouldn't wake up," he said in a concerned tone, then cleared his throat and started walking off. "Go shower." I got up, feeling like I hadn't slept at all. My body was completely exhausted. I felt different, almost like something was missing, a big part of myself. I tried to remember what I was even doing in my parents' house in the first place. Then I remembered setting up my phone to film me. I remembered the shadow, but I couldn't remember why I tried to film it. The footage captured by my flimsy phone camera, with no way to properly enhance it, was useless to me, and it didn't film anything noteworthy. I decided to check my phone and found thousands of your notifications and my post from that Friday. That post that I don't even remember writing. Henry? A son? I have a son? What? Questions flooded my mind as I read and reread the words that I didn't recall writing. I frantically drove back to my apartment. I'm not really sure what I was looking for. I explored every room and found his, my apparent son's, room. Tidy and clean, with a superhero poster on the wall, a desk with a laptop on it, a bed with Marvel design covers. My head was spinning, a horrible migraine, so I popped a pill. Henry. I had written that I had a son named Henry. I took my phone out and called my mum. "Hey Helen, what's going on? You left so urgently." "Henry, do you remember Henry?" I huffed into the receiver. "Henry? No, I can't say I do. Is that a friend of yours? Did something happen?" She replied. "Fuck no," I thought. "No, never mind, thanks Mum." I hung up before she could say another word. I mean, it fucking clearly says here that I have a son named Henry, like Henry is in a coma. I went through my phone. There were no pictures of a boy or anywhere on there. I looked all around the house, no photo albums, absolutely no evidence of him existing here besides a child's seemingly untouched bedroom. My heart was aching, my head was spinning. The feeling of missing something but not knowing what it is, like it's on the tip of your tongue. It was unbearable. I found a death certificate of my husband and carefully read through. It clearly fucking said that he died and left his son and wife. So where the fuck is the child and why can't I remember him? I remember my husband clearly. I rummaged through the house, making a total mess of it, but in the end I found nothing. No birth certificate, no old doctor's notes, no teacher's notes, no appointments. I collapsed on the couch in the living room, feeling exhausted, my eyes super heavy. But something was tugging at the back of my head to not sleep. So I picked up my laptop instead, and that's when I rediscovered the camera footage I was talking about in the last post. And then I saw him. I clearly saw my son, Henry, who I didn't remember, climbing into my bed at 3 a.m. I saw the shadowy thing, his skeletal hand hovering above him, and then going forward until the morning I saw myself screaming and shaking him awake, but he never woke up. I rushed to the hospital I thought I might have left him in. I needed to see him. "Henry, I need to see Henry," I said to the receptionist, out of breath. "Henry? I don't think we have a patient here named Henry," the young lady replied, not looking up at me. "A 14-year-old boy in a coma?" I questioned. "Oh, his name is Henry? Are you a guardian?" "What?" I whispered under my breath. "I'll need to see some ID, please," she continued. I pulled out my passport and handed it to her. "Do you have his ID too?" I don't know." "Oh, then I'm afraid I can't let you see him." She finally looked at me, looked into my eyes with this regretful look. "Look, wait, I have proof that he's my son. I have videos of him living in my apartment. Let me go get my laptop from the car," I said, and before she replied, I scurried away. And would you fucking believe it? My laptop, it was freaking gone. There was literally no evidence of any break-in in my car. I didn't even go back in there was no point. I took my phone out, and I saw a couple of direct messages. One of them caught my interest. "I know what you're dealing with." It might well have been a troll, but I had nothing left to lose, so I wrote back, "Please help me." I drove back to my apartment thinking of sleep the entire way there, but a voice in the back of my mind kept telling me not to. Do not sleep, it warned me, you'll regret it. I observed the sorry state of my crazed apartment as I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. I put on the kettle for a coffee and checked the messages. This is an entity straight out of your worst nightmares. It'll enter your life like a parasite during sleep paralysis and inches closer to you, draining your life force itself as it does so. A following message came in. It preys on you when you are at your most vulnerable, in a state of sleep. The longer it is attached to you, the more tired you will feel every night, and the more life it will drain out of you, until the unusual healthy amount of sleep no longer can recharge your body. That's what happened to your son. His energy ran out. He needs more sleep than ever to be able to wake up, and it won't let him. This thing, it can divide itself, keep its victims paralyzed so that they can't wake up on their own, and once you're weak enough, they can't be woken up by anyone else either. It'll continue draining him until the day he dies. This is absolutely batshit fucking crazy. I recall this shadow, this eerie feeling of someone constantly watching me, and I also wrote about it in my last post. What's it called? I asked, and then right after, and how the hell did it erase someone from existence? They typed back, it's complicated, I'll give you an address, come there, and no matter what, don't sleep. I put the address into my GPS, and it's an hour and a half drive away. I stocked up on coffee and got into my car straight away. The entire drive there, I felt the presence at the back of my neck, and I could see slight shadows moving at the corner of my eye, but when I looked towards it, everything was as still as ice. When I finally arrived, I texted the mysterious man a message saying I'm here. The address was of an old, almost abandoned-looking house. I stepped out of the car and headed straight to the front door, but before I could knock, it swung open.